Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today, we are talking about aura evolution, specifically 2 aura phenomenons I have been seeing in a major pattern across my readings and across the Mystic Michaela spiritual family. This is called Indi-Purple and something I dubbed as STS, Spontaneous Turquoise Syndrome. But before we get into all that, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Well, I feel that I might be into purple.
You're into purple?
Is it possible? Well, I'm into purple.
Yeah, okay.
Like, because you're purple.
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're into purples? That's like your type?
Exactly.
That's like a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing. All
like
right.
Someone who's into purples or into purples.
Right.
I'm talking about into purples.
Okay.
Like indigo purple mashups. I'm going to get into that.
Gotcha. All
yeah,
right.
That's funny.
Well, this is a term that you've been throwing around recently.
Yeah.
But when we first started the podcast, I didn't really hear this term come out.
Correct.
So what's going on?
Yeah, so this is really interesting, and I feel like this has happened with other aura color phenomenons throughout the KYA podcast timeline. As life goes on, we've been doing this has it been like almost 7 years now?
Yes.
As I've been doing this, I notice patterns, and I'm noticing a new pattern emerging in these 2 kind of color combination and people's energies. And it always makes me think, I'm like, why do I keep seeing this? And once I see something enough, I end up like in my own brain, I'm like, all right, I gotta have a name for it, or I have to kind of label it or generalize it somehow so I can teach it more effectively, like package it up and teach it. And I've done this like with green kois or blue kois or blue to go,
yeah.
Christmas tree guy,
right.
chameleon aura, GSD, get stuff done aura. Like I try to do this all the time just to try to like, okay, let's generalize it. Let's see the pattern as I see the pattern. And I change and evolve with what I'm seeing, So I have been seeing, and I'm going to get into this specifically, indigo purple mashup, and I have been seeing people like spontaneous turquoise syndrome, like people, STS, we can call it, people suddenly develop turquoise and they're not. So, and I'm going to get into why.
Okay.
But or what that is. But first, the why. Like, I feel like when I do readings, right, and I see different generations. So like maybe I'm reading your grandma or maybe I'm reading your mom or something, and they're yellow, but it's like a different yellow than what I'm seeing in younger generations, meaning it looks the same to me, but it feels different. And that's because a lot of our energy is also it's affected by the cultural context, by society, by the times. And we've talked about this with historical auras before, when we've done our different historical figures and whatnot and what their auras look like. They look the same to me, like that's the color I see, but they feel different and they can mean different things. And that's because, around here I talk about auras are in the details. So a lot of times our auras will show themselves in the times. So how you interact with technology or how you deal with the roles society gives you, that kind of thing. So as these things change, as our world changes with societal demands or roles or, how the world looks like outside technology and jobs and different things that we interact with, our auras are going to act differently. And then they're going to kind of come across a little differently too. That's why when you talk to like yellow aura grandma versus yellow aura granddaughter, they have like in common the yellow aura traits, like, we like to be organized, or we like to have systems, or we like to kind of plan ahead, but also there's a difference. And so when I've been seeing these like emerging patterns in all of our auras as I do these readings and I just see people in my daily life, I'm thinking, why am I seeing these changes? Like, why am I seeing these evolutions happen now?
So you're saying if we could get an actual photo from someone, could we go, how far in history could we go back here? 1700s,
sure.
1800s?
Yeah.
And you saw a yellow woman.
Right.
In the 1700s.
Yeah.
Versus you saw a yellow woman 2026.
Yeah.
You're saying that there's going to be a huge difference.
Yeah.
In their aura.
Right. Because the way that I describe a yellow aura person or yellow aura woman or man, like here in today's, the way that they interact with just people or society, or it does affect how you how you present yourself to the world. It's so funny. On the Substack chat, we were talking about the Tudors. Like somebody mentioned like, oh my gosh, I love the Tudors. So that's like, you think like Henry VIII,
right.
you know, and his wives that he had like a lot of issues with, and Anne Boleyn. And so this chat started.
You put that very nicely.
Yeah, a lot of issues with. Like, let me be nice.
Well,
even Henry VIII.
Off with their head.
Yeah. He killed like 2 of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you know, we were talking about this, and somebody was like, I'm obsessed with the Tudors. And I personally am obsessed
You've always been.
I'm obsessed with the Tudors. I feel like I've said this before, I feel like one of my past lives, I was around at that time. I don't feel like I was part of the Tudor family
what
at
are
all.
the,
I feel like I was like a very nosy peasant.
not one of the, what do they call there's the queen and then all the people that, the ladies that help
handmaidens.
The handmaidens.
Yeah. Her ladies in waiting.
Ladies in waiting, right.
Ladies in waiting, right. So I don't even know if I was one of those. I really connect more to just being a nosy, just like English woman who is just like, what's the gossip? Like as I was getting my bread.
I have to say you saying that tells everything about you, because most people, when they have a past life, they're the queen.
Right, of course.
Or the princess. But you're just this peasant.
100%. I was a village lady who just needed to know the goss, the hot Tudor goss.
So you would have still been indigo purple.
Probably.
Back then.
Yeah, I'm like
in the
doing
1600s.
Oradoodles with like paint I make from berries or something. Yeah, so 100%. But anyway, so we were talking about this, and someone's like, oh, you know, they asked me, can you do auras based on paintings? You know, because a lot of these people had really realistic-ish paintings done by them. And I said, no, I can't. I really can't. I can't see. I have to have a photo to see auras. And there's no photos from that time because it's like, the 1500s. But I get a vibe from them, right? So Anne Boleyn, for example, I've read so much about her. Like, I've dove down deep in there. I care way too much. And I really feel like she was purple blue. Okay. But the purple blue would not resemble the purple blue now. It would resemble it outwardly in a way, in that she was, I feel like, very intuitive. You know, I feel like she was really able to pick up nuances. I feel like she was a risk taker, that kind of stuff, you know, but it wouldn't, the blue, for example, or the purple, for example, it wouldn't relate to a purple blue woman 100% today. And it's kind of like feeling it, and then it's almost like walking back in time. So it's like a different kind of mental perspective or mind perspective. And we don't really have the ability to talk to people from back then to kind of obviously like understand. So you read their writings and you're like, what were their motivations and what were their interests? And so when I do that, I kind of connect them to aura color attributes of that day, which I think are really interesting. So like her connection to religion or whatever, to me, because she was seen as very devout or whatnot, to me, it feels more of like her purple trying to find answers outside of herself, that, you know, it's like that purple feeling like, I know there's more to this, or not so much being devout, like blindly, kind of just like searching or using that as a way to create or have artistry, if that makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, so long story short, it changes with the times, and the closest we get to it are our older generations, which I have the privilege of reading. Sometimes if you give me a picture of like grandma or great-grandma or great-grandpa or something like that, but it's different. It feels different. So people are like, grandpa was a red? I'm like, well, he was a red in the 40s. You know, it's like a little different than a red now, you know, like that. It's a little different.
Well, I mean, I guess the easiest one would be like greens and technology.
Right.
So like obviously today we associate the greens with the big tech and all, and doing all the computer stuff or the engineering and all that. But I guess a green back in the 1600s, we're talking about a guy that came up with the seed drill. Yeah,
they're probably killing it with agriculture.
With farming, right?
Yeah.
You'd be thinking farming.
Right.
Do we think farming is a green person today? Maybe. We also could be like a red or yellow even. I don't know what color farmers are. But that there would, I guess, the person who came up with the seed drill, I think Jethro Tull, but he must have been the green of that day. Exactly. And that's going to wear differently than the Zuckerberg of today.
Or somebody working with AI or something.
Someone working with AI.
Yeah, it's just, it's going to like be the same and sort of like the focused mindset, or somebody that can really sit with something and think and think and think and try to improve upon it for efficiency, but it's going to also be very different in a lot of ways. So I feel like...
What about pink?
Oh, no.
Like if we went back to the 1600s, what about pink?
I'm going to say something. I feel like pinks might have had... This is controversial.
Okay.
I feel like pinks might have had a better time in pink women. Sorry.
Pink women.
White women.
Yeah.
I feel like and it kind of goes the same today. I feel like they have, I go listen to the Powerful Pink episode where I talk all about how pink is very much affected. All aura colors are by like gender, race, they're very affected by that. Anyways, but I really feel like pink white women might have had a better time if they were in a better situation, like in the 50s, back, I'm talking about 1950s or 40s or 30s, like kind of like older generations, because the roles and they weren't expected to, how do I say, like go out there so much and make the careers that women are kind of pushed to make today, if they're not into it. Does that make sense? I don't want to put down women.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, like, and I'm not trying to put down pinks. Like, pinks have careers and pinks do all sorts of cool things. I'm just saying, I think it was easier to stay in a bubble if you were kind of stuck in a role that suited you and you're like, oh, cool. Like I can stay here and I don't have to worry about stuff and I can just have my fun time and I can just do my thing. And I think that pink women back then were more, because I see a lot of pink older women, like if you give me your grandma and she was pink or something and they're very like fancy and they wear their jewelry and they're very into kind of like, oh, this is what you do and this is what you do. But they like etiquette and kind of the roles of the time are like a fun escape for them. It's not seen as a chain. It's seen as like a fun time or something that they can like express themselves with, if that makes sense. So yeah, pinks have a little bit. Okay. We could do this with every aura.
We could. Like the turquoises obviously were the Salem witches.
Yeah. The turquoise purples were the Salem witches. 100%. Probably some purple blues too.
Right.
Like if you're purple, good luck to you. But I feel like purple women throughout time were like, they knew this. And that's why, and I feel like that's why purples to this day are a little bit nervous about who they let in their crew. Purples are always a little suspicious. Like, who's that? Who did you just invite to girls' night? Who's that girl? Who's that? And I don't think that just showed, I think that's like from purple generationally, like a not trustworthiness, because purples were the ones that were like, there's something wrong with you. You don't conform,
right?
To the stake you go, like that kind of thing.
So do you think these changes in aura, like we've been talking about the 1500s, the 1600s, the 1930s, whatever, 1950s, a little bit, but could it change in the aura happen within a few years? And
that's what I see happening now. Okay. I feel like, and I wrote about this on my Substack. I did an article called Your Aura's Changed Since COVID, and I feel like, honestly, since 2019, 2020, none of us should be the same person. I just feel like it's been a period of accelerated growth. And with that, I'm seeing really interesting aura combinations that I don't really see when the limited pictures that we have for the past. I don't see these kind of nuances and mixtures and emergence of interesting color phenomenon that I'm seeing right now.
Right.
So when they talk about an awakening, like a collective consciousness awakening, I feel like that definitely has happened in the past 10, 20 years, for sure. And then majorly rapidly accelerated in the past like 5-6 years. And I just, it's, my own brain, my own self, I'm seeing that in aura color. And so I'm interpreting, to me, that's proof that this is happening and we are all kind of waking up. And I'm seeing it. We're waking up to like the 5D. We're waking up to how different planes of existence interact with us. And we're looking for language for it. We're all looking for language for it. Even if we're not in the aura world, we're looking for language in other places about it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Now, and I want to know maybe if this has something to do with it too. Maybe it doesn't. I always play the opposite role here. I try to.
Yeah.
But your ability to see auras has definitely changed from when we first started this podcast to today.
Yeah.
Do you feel that maybe part of your ability. Like, obviously, if you do something over and over again.
Like I'm getting better at it?
You're getting better, right? Not to say you were terrible at any point.
No, I get what you're saying.
But could it be like you're like flexing, it's like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
You're getting better over the last 7 years.
I definitely am, and I hope I continue to improving. Like that's, where I started is that, everybody needs to improve and learn and grow. So I feel like I am doing that, but this also feels different than it did in the past. Also the volume. I feel like the other thing you could also say is maybe you're reading more people. So this was always going on. It's just you're reading more people now than you used to.
Right.
Like that. Right. So you could also say the volume question.
I mean, I have noticed, and, again, I'm biased, of course. I understand that, people. But your skills are just, now they're just like off the charts. I mean, like even like just like day-to-day things. You're just, it's almost like, how do I even put this? Like reading a newspaper for you or something. I know. Just reading an article online.
Like, I think it's age.
It's like just uncanny. I mean, I could just give like one example here, and there's hundreds of examples. But, you set up a meeting. We set up a meeting for a Friday. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then and usually I do all the setting up of the meetings, but we were both on the computer, and so I'm just like, just write back quickly. And you wrote back, talk to you next Friday.
Right.
And in my mind, like that's why I always set up the meetings, because we call them Meggie Steaks. We've talked about this, and I quickly go, no, it's this Friday. And so I'm like, you're like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, well, we got to write another email just to clarify that it's this Friday.
Because so whatever, she'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Megan, you have to write her back and say it's this Friday.
Right.
So you did.
I'm like, never mind. I mean this Friday.
Right.
Right.
And, well, guess what? The meeting's the next Friday. Well, then basically the meeting got switched.
Yeah, she canceled it and rescheduled for the next Friday. Yeah.
Like, it's almost like you knew that was the whole time.
It's weird. It's like, that's
crazy.
That's like more of a psychic thing.
No, I know.
But aura, I know what you mean.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's almost just become part of the.
I know.
You're like intertwined in your daily
well, it's
fabric.
Weird. Like I was talking to your mom at breakfast.
Yeah.
And she randomly goes to me. This is really funny. You guys will all love this. My mother-in-law, she's like 80. She randomly goes to me, what if somebody wants to check on somebody on Instagram? Can the person that they're checking on know that they're being checked on?
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
So I go, listen, if your friend wants to go check, I didn't know any of this. Okay. I'm like, if your friend wants to go check on her daughter-in-law, for example, and she checks her profile, as long as it's public, she can see whatever, and the girl won't know that she's being checked on. But if your friend clicks on a story, the daughter-in-law will know that her mom-in-law is stalking her on Instagram, so you have to be careful.
Right.
And of course, my mother-in-law has no idea what a story is or a profile is. So I'm like, and then I was like, and then she's like, oh, she's like, well, what it is my friend wants to check on her daughter-in-law. And then like Brianna, my daughter, she's like, that's what mom just said.
Yeah,
like that. It's just like, I see things very clearly. Yeah. I think that's like age. And I do think a lot of us, as we get older, who are already intuitive, like you just kind of like, whatever, I know I'm right. Like that kind of thing. Like you just lean into it. But with the auras, it definitely could be a combination of I'm getting back. I can see it easier.
Yeah.
Maybe it just comes to me, but and volume. But on top of that, this is new. Like these phenomenons are very like nuanced.
Yeah.
And there would be like kind of things scattered. Like I think I used to say like I'm going to talk about what Indi-Purple is, but I used to say like, oh, you have indigo with purple sparkles. Like I think that's how I used to say it.
Yes.
But now it's kind of like the more pattern I see, and I'm going to talk about what this is, it actually means something different. And we could even classify it as a phenomenon or even a different kind of aura nuance. That's where I think I've improved or I've built upon it or I've evolved myself in explaining it. It's like, hang on, it means actually a specific subset of things going on in your life.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because that's what somebody from outside of this all might be thinking.
Right. So, or it could be a combo.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, maybe, whatever.
But I will say, the skills that you have now are just...
It's funny.
They're off the charts. Like I said, it's just like, it's almost boring how you do it now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it'd just be like if you took a a bite to eat or a drink. It comes out of your mouth the same way as the mundane. Yeah. And it does blow my mind. It's still, after all these years, still blows my mind.
Intuition is a muscle, and the more we all use it, the more we get better at it. You got to trust yourself, and that's for everybody listening. Like, you have to trust your gut and not be scared to make mistakes. Yeah. You know, like, you can't be scared to be the fool. Yeah. It's okay. You'll live, you know. And I think that once you kind of get over that hurdle, it's a lot easier to trust the energy that's always coming to you.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break.
Yes.
When we come back, you're going to talk about 2 new terms. Very exciting.
You have heard me talk about OneSkin before, and whether you're someone who tries every new skincare product that hits the market, or you've been using the same 1 or 2 things for years, at some point, most of us realize that our skin just isn't keeping up the way it used to. That's what OneSkin changed for me. It didn't just make my existing routine better. It actually works differently than anything else I've tried, and I have tried it all. Okay. So as we age, some skin cells stop functioning the way that they should. Longevity scientists call them zombie cells. And that's what is actually driving those visible signs of aging, the fine lines, the loss of firmness, that dullness that creeps in over time. And OneSkin's OS1 peptide was specifically engineered to address those. So you're getting everything you expect from great skincare, with OS1 doing something most skincare was never built to do. I use every morning and every evening the OS1 face and the OS1 eye. And then every evening I use the OS1 lip peptide. Let me tell you, I have been using this for several months now, and my skin I've noticed a definite uptick in the firmness. Also, it's more glowy looking and consistently throughout the month. I've noticed that it looks more hydrated, and I think just the overall consistency of my skin looking good is what has really surprised me. Very different than anything else I've tried in the past. And it isn't just my experience. OneSkin's results are backed by 4 peer-reviewed clinical studies, over 10,000 5-star reviews, and they've been recognized by Bloomberg as a leader in skin longevity. I mean, you don't really need some sort of complicated skin routine to get healthier, younger looking skin. So, born from over a decade of longevity research, OneSkin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code KYA at oneskin.co/KYA. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code KYA. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right, so let's take the first of these 2 new terms.
Yes.
Indi-Purple.
Indi-Purple. All right, so indigo. This can happen to indigos, and this can happen to purples. Where if you're indigo, let's say you're yellow indigo, but all of a sudden I'm seeing like purple in there, or let's say you're yellow purple, and all of a sudden I'm seeing indigo in there. First of all, what does it mean for both of the next 2 terms, actually? Just to back it up for a second, I feel like what's been happening is the more interconnected our world right now is, like online and on your phone or whatever, the more alone you are as you explore it. So it's really interesting, like you have access to a whole world of opinions literally in the palm of your hand in your phone. And as you interpret it and process it and deal with it, you are alone. And it's a weird juxtaposition. And I think there's like a lot of reasons why the Indi-Purple might be happening, but that to me is just kind of like, I don't know, one that sticks out, where we have to sit with things. And when we sit with things, we dig very deep into ourselves. It's kind of like mining an aura color. Now, a reminder, there's no spiritual hierarchy. No aura color is better than another, ever. You know, what you are is what you are, and they're all equal. There's zero, like, inferior aura colors to be. Like, and I mean that, like, whatsoever. But I feel like with indigos, when they kind of dig, I'll do indigo with purple in them, Indi-Purple. So indigos, they're already reflective. They're already kind of loners. They need their alone time. They analyze constantly. They're always reflecting and processing. And to the point where it can become almost like a paralysis in dealing with life. Like, it's really hard to have conversations with people because you can't do small talk. Or it's really hard to go out sometimes to places that have a weird vibe because you're so sensitive to the vibe. So it can be a little bit like you just kind of want to stay home, or you don't want to deal with new people or new situations or whatever. But when you dig, and you get to this point, a purple can kind of pop in. So you kind of mine a little bit in your aura, and this purple can pop up. And it's almost like a point of saturation where you're like, you know what, screw it. I feel all this stuff, but it's not going to limit me anymore. And that's when the indigo starts, I notice, saying stuff that in the past they never would have said. Or they start just getting like a little bit like, I don't give a crap. And they're the ones that are going to grab the mic at karaoke and be like, here I go, or they start getting a little more spontaneous than they were. You know what? I'm not going to be scared of being scared. I'm not going to be scared of feeling things. I'm not going to be scared of absorbing everything. I'm just going to do what I want. That's when I see kind of purple pop up, and it helps them with the rebelliousness, or it fuels them to make some changes. And they kind of hit a point, not of apathy, just of like, I can't be bothered. They see it, they know it, but they're not going to be, it's not going to affect their behavior. Okay, so that's Indi-Purple if you're indigo and you pop up purple. Now what if you're purple and you pop up indigo? Okay, so let's say you're, I don't know, like blue, purple, or yellow, purple, red, purple, but I start seeing indigo in there. This is when I usually see purples who are kind of like, they've spent a lot of time jumping around in life, going from place to place to place. They're actually very good at being spontaneous to the point where they're exhausted. They're feeling tired of distracting themselves from sitting in the uncomfortable stuff or making some changes that they need to make with their big girl or big boy voices, And I'll see like little pops of indigo coming up in their aura. So it's like an Indi-Purple in a different way. So this is where they're getting to the point where they're like, you know what? I'm not going to run away from this. I'm not going to self-destruct because of this. I'm not going to distract myself from this. I'm going to reflect on it, think about it, and really analyze what my pattern of behavior here is. And then it's more of like a stopping, thinking, and then acting kind of a way. And these are where huge changes come in their life. This is where a purple all of a sudden changes their patterns with dating, or changes their patterns with spending, or changes their patterns with, how they deal with relationships or with themselves in general. So that's how I see it on the flip side of that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With these colors, is this because if you gave me a palette of colors,
yes,
and it was blue, indigo, purple, and all these different colors,
yeah,
I could not tell you which one was which.
Yeah.
Like, if I went to Sherman-Williams and looked at all these colors,
oh yeah,
they would all look basically like I couldn't tell indigo from blue or blue from purple.
Okay.
So my question to you is, is this something you're seeing it, sure.
Yeah.
But is this something that you're also, like, it's just a feeling? It's something you're just picking up?
Yeah.
Because no one would be able to tell between these colors around someone, right?
That's why I always say, like, with auras, I see them.
Right. And
once I see them, once I start kind of like, it's almost like walking into your aura. Like, it's really interesting. Like, when I do a reading, it's like walking into you. Not in a creepy way, but like kind of walking in. It's like a door.
Yeah.
And I walk through it, and then the feelings come with it. Okay. So yeah. And so I'll tell people when I do a reading, I'm like, if I was to draw your aura, just to kind of give them a visual. I think visuals can help sometimes. Yeah. Like, for example, if you're into purple with the indigo with the purple popping up, it's like if you picture the color indigo, which is really deep blue, and then all of a sudden, like, you're looking, you're like, is that a little bit of purple there? Is that a little bit of, like, little brighter spots?
Okay.
Like that. Or if you're purple, sometimes the purple can get so deep. If you ever see like purple and it's just like a really dark shade of purple, and then all of a sudden you're like, that could be indigo. Like, that's like, it's kind of going into another shade. But if you don't know shades, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm talking to you, you're like, I don't know what I mean. You just see a purple crayon. I know when I'm talking to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
You obviously weren't the kid with the 48 crayon set, and like one was like mac and cheese, and then like one was like, you know.
No, I think I had that. I
like
still can't tell the
green,
difference. I just can't.
Periwinkle, you know, peach, like all those different colors, like cornflower. You're like, it's cornflower, not periwinkle. Like, if you can see what I'm saying when I say cornflower versus periwinkle, you paid attention to your 48 Crayola set. Scott did not.
I did not.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. What about STS?
Oh, yeah.
What is this?
Okay, spontaneous turquoise syndrome.
That sounds like...
I just made that up. I think it's so funny.
Like, what does that mean?
You
like,
have STS.
You have STS. Like, all of a sudden, you have a craving for crystal? Like, what is that?
Sometimes
I crave crystals now. Like,
my goal is for everyone in the MMSF to just, like, start saying this to people. Like, I have STS.
Like, all of a sudden, you run out in a full moon on the beach and start meditating.
Pretty much.
Okay.
All right. So, here's the thing. I was seeing people that weren't turquoise, weren't supposed to be turquoise, weren't ever turquoise. All of a sudden getting like a turquoise glow, like a turquoise like a little
pop of turquoise,
like a little pop of misty turquoise. Like what the flip is that? You know,
that?
like just all of a sudden like you're yellow purple, but there's like this turquoise over here on you. What's going on? And then I was like, oh, are you doing wellness work, Reiki, you know, energy healing? Are you doing a lot of self-improvement stuff in kind of like the spiritual realms? Like maybe you're, you know, really into astrology right now, or you're really taking up some tarot, or you're really into auras, or you've been reading a lot of like past life books or something. Like people who get really focused in the spiritual wellness, that kind of work, or wellness, or are you changing your diet because of you want your body to feel clean, like for no other purpose except you want to like clean your vibe, or you want to re-energize your body differently. Anyways, I'm seeing like misty turquoise around people, and it's spontaneous turquoise syndrome. Like it doesn't stay, and it's not an inauthentic color. And I wouldn't even call it a GSD, a get stuff done color. I would just say I have to call it something else. So I'm calling it STS, because it's just, I feel like now I'm still learning about this because this is very new for me. Like within the past couple of years, I've been noticing this. And interestingly enough, I see a lot of kids wear turquoise and adults don't. I think I have a whole theory. So here's my theory. My theory is that turquoises, that aura color, not that other aura colors don't, but I do feel like turquoises can have a very easy time just kind of leaning into the woo, or leaning into the 5D, or leaning into, not, you know, other planes of existence with the least resistance. I always say turquoises are extremely absorbent energetically. Also, by the way, turquoises are extremely absorbent with, toxins in the environment. That's why turquoises always have like allergy issues, or they have to use like lotions without scent in them, like all that kind of stuff. But so their bodies are like that too. But when like you're kind of dabbling in stuff where you need a very open mind, and you really just want to, you're like, I don't care. I just want to hear everything without judgment. And I just want to open my mind to it. I just want to let it in. And I'll sift through it later, and I have no fear about what I'm hearing. I see like the spontaneous turquoise syndrome erupt in them. Now, not everybody's going to have this. Like I don't have this. Like I don't. Like I've never seen this on myself, and obviously I'm in this world. Yeah. Some people do, and I think it's just their ability to kind of open up in a way, like just a floodgate of it, like, all right, bring it on, you know? And I think it assists them in learning things quicker from kind of the realms that don't have a lot of structure around them.
Would there be certain colors that would be open to getting that pop of turquoise? Like, or color combos?
Well, the empath auras all have.
Well, you're purple indigo, but you said
I've never seen it on myself. I don't have that. I don't, and it doesn't mean that you're not doing it right or not. Right. You know, I just see it in people randomly, this STS, and it's going to if it's going to happen, it happens around your empath color. So it's going to happen around your purple, your blue, or your indigo. Okay.
Is it like you see it like on the
it's like,
fringe?
It's kind of like a little glow around their aura that's like turquoise. And it's almost like little fingers, kind of like little extra fingers, like, come here, bring it in. Come on.
Does it go away?
Kind of like, like, what do they call that? Like on the ocean floor, like what are the fringy things that catch all the nutrients? What are those?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Come on, guys. An enemy? I'm like in Finding Nemo. I can't say the word. A sea anemone? I can't say the word. Like them, but like cute. And they're like, just here we are. Like, we'll take it. But it's like fuzzy and glowy and stuff.
And it comes and it goes?
Yeah. Or? I don't see it staying in people who aren't turquoise, and it's just kind of there. And people are getting confused because I would say it. I'm like, you have a little turquoise, but it's temporary. I know it's going to be temporary, but it's assisting you now, and but then they're like, so am I turquoise? And it's like,
but there's the other thing, no, it's temporary.
I feel it. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's, yes. And that's where I guess that's like the spiritual message stuff comes in, it's like different than just what I see because it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be there. It feels like a tool. And I also wonder if like our higher self calls for that, our soul self, as some sort of a tool that some people can use to gather more information and take in more spiritual information intake easier.
Now,
I realize just sometimes I talk and I'm like, guys, I know. I sound like certifiable.
Well, now I got to bring it back to me here because if I were to, do a sound bath 3 times a week, read the 4 agreements every other day, get my crystals, do my whole spiritual awakening thing.
Yeah.
There's never going to be turquoise in my aura. I don't understand. Like, we've gone through all these colors. I feel I'm much more spiritually awakened than I was 7 years ago. But according to you, I have never, ever been anything but red and blue. I've never had a pop of indigo purple.
Right.
Never had a sparkle. Nothing. Just red, blue for whatever. Every year, red, blue. Every day, red, blue.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more blue here, a little more red, but that's it.
Yeah.
Why are some people, I assume there's others, or am I the only one? I don't know.
Well, just a note, even though I read people's auras, I always tell people, like, you know yourself best and always take your own inclinations of what you are. I just feel like I always have to put that in there. But so you're right. I only ever see red, blue on you, and sometimes more blue. Sometimes a little victim blue.
Right. Yeah.
Like that. Sure. Sometimes a little like calm down red.
Calm
like
down red,
that.
A little victim blue. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Like the imbalance aura, but always
I've never had a sparkle.
Red, blue.
I want a sparkle.
It's so funny because like we do these workshops.
Yeah.
And then this one was like career, leisure, meditative time.
Right.
Some people do not change.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay, some people don't.
Right.
Like some people do, and some people are like very consistently themselves in every context. And there's nothing wrong with changing, and there's nothing wrong with being consistently yourself in every context, by the way. But there is a type of person that is very much authentically themselves, no matter what is happening. And that's not always just the logic colors. Like I'll see like some of these purple blues and they are just always purple blue, or some of these purple turquoise and they are just always purple turquoise. Like they just show up, they just walk into a room, they're like, I'm here, like that's it, and some people are just consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could start an entire astrology business, learn everything about astrology, tarot, all that stuff. And a turquoise or a purple is never going to come into the picture.
Right. I feel like, yes, that's true. So I guess these are two different things. Yeah. I feel like people that are consistently themselves in every situation, a lot of that can be programming, like how you were raised a little bit in terms of I will walk into any environment and it will move to suit me, or it won't. But like, I'm not going to move myself to... I'm not going to change myself for this environment. Some of us walk into environments and immediately we're like, oh my gosh, how do I fit in? You know? And I do feel like that's programming related. And even if you were brought up in a family where you were expected to change, or you were expected to be a pleaser, you were expected to move yourself, some of you resisted that. And you were like, heck no, which I feel like is you, by the way. Sure. I feel like you walk into any situation, you're like, no, this is who I am, and this is what I'm doing. And it's not like rude or anything. It's just like me, don't like me, that's fine. So I feel like that's just part of who you are. And if you think about your mentality, like literally, like you'll walk into anywhere that you've never even been to before, and you're judging it against your own guidelines a little bit. Like a new place. It sounds judgmental, but I don't think it is. I think it's just like how you work and how some people work. Like anybody might walk into a certain, let's say, restaurant, and all of a sudden you're like, well, this place, it sucks. Or it's just not for me, like that. And that's it. And then you're just like, instead of and this is a very simple example, instead of walking to a restaurant and be like, okay, like whatever, it's just a meal. I'll figure out what I'm going to do, you know? And I feel like in life, you're the type that if you walk into something and it doesn't align immediately, you're like, okay, it's not for me. And you're just like, done. But some people walk into a place and they're like, oh, all right, well, how do I, you know, how can I make this work? Okay. And I think that that's the difference. But yes, you are always red, blue. And some people are just consistent. I know. Do you want, and I know you want to be green so bad.
No, I don't want to be.
You let it go.
No, I don't want to be green. I just want to like wear the hat. Like wear the green, like a little bit.
Okay.
Like just when I need to. Like if I'm like fixing a toilet and it takes me 4 hours to fix the toilet.
Yeah.
I want to be, you know.
That just happened.
And I just did it the red way, which is I just sawed off like this huge, massive piece of plastic I couldn't get off the bottom of the toilet. And there was like, you know, obviously there was like 100 YouTube videos with green guys.
They're like, just twist it off. And we're like, it's stuck.
Take this nut driver and do this, blah, blah, blah. And there I am getting a freaking saw and just doing it the red way. But it took me freaking 4 hours. Like, these guys did it like 3 minutes.
I know.
But, you know, there I am, the red guy. I'm going to, like, there was no way that thing wasn't coming off.
Right.
There was this nut I couldn't get off to the bottom of the toilet. But there was no way I was ever going to do anything again until that nut came off the bottom of the toilet. And it did. And I, like, because I made that pledge, me and my new spirit guide, Mikey, we made a pledge. He's red, blue also.
You like your new preferred spirit guide?
Yes, because Phoebe, you know, we know her drinking issues. So, you know, ever since I paid the $212 for a guy to come and tell me to defrost my fridge.
Right.
That was like one of the biggest changing moments of my life.
Yeah.
No one will ever set foot in this house to fix something. I am fixing everything, or we get something new.
Okay.
That's it. Red, over.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
There you go. And I think you just...
And that might be why I'm always
That
red,
might
blue.
be why. You know, because I'm very open. Although I'm always purple. And no, that's not true. Because like
you have yellow sometimes.
When I was teaching,
yellow, right?
yes. When I was teaching and I used to, anytime I go to the airport,
you get a little yellow in there.
I have an authentic yellow.
Yes. And we all can we can't see it.
Oh, you
but
all hate it.
But all three of us can tell.
You all hate when I'm like that.
We know the yellow is there.
Yeah, and you hate it.
But we can't see it.
You can't see it, but
we know it.
Anybody can sense auras because they're just energies.
Right.
But like, yeah, you can sense, like, I get hyper.
Yes, we can. Yes.
And you all react to me.
Yes.
That's true. Or sometimes I get like, I feel like I used to wear more an authentic blue sometimes, like, you know, just to kind of like.
Yeah, that one I can't tell on you. The only that I know when you have that, we'll call it yellow on you, whatever. And it's just like this hyper.
I get really hyper.
Real hyper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We're just all like looking at each other. Okay.
Like, okay.
All right. And we kind of deal with it. We're just like, all right, as long as we just go about our business, it'll go away.
Thanks. At least you have somebody who like validates this, by the way. Like, I don't like fight with you. I'm like, guys, I realize this is what's going on. You know, like I validate you.
You do.
I'm getting a little defensive. Okay. All right. You guys, I want to hear if you have Indi-Purple or STS, Spontaneous Turquoise Syndrome. This podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.